ending.
Mm-hmm. I think most movies at the end, or books, at the end, you're kind of bummed out. They're always sort of ending on a note. You're like, really? Okay. Sort of anticlimactic. But this is you get your full $10 or $12 worth. When you walk out, you go out with a bang. And I don't know, I think there's something really cool about that, because that's life. I feel like, you know, you always kind of want to go out with a bang.
So, you really went and go into the arts in order to find.
Yeah, I mean, my family really is more the. I'm definitely considered sort of a trailblazer, rebel. It's funny, in Hollywood, it was always so negative in the beginning because nobody trusts Hollywood, and Hollywood's so shady and all these things, but I guess when you're in a Burger King toy or something, or if you have an action figure, or if you're a video game, all of a sudden everybody loves you. It's got that Disney approval.
That's good. That's really good.
So all of that rebelliousness and everything, people forget.
And why do you think it's such a Hollywood thing, talking about the Hollywood situation, that when a woman does play a prostitute, she tends to be nominated for an Academy Award? Do you think it's just a crowd-pleasing element for the male-dominated
Or all the good roles that women, that are written for women?
Like black, like Robert Downey did, which is fun.
Which is kind of like a prosthetic.
Yeah. It's because there's Melanie Griffith, Jane Fonda, Marlene Dietrich, Julia Roberts, Mira Sorvino, Annette Bening, Charlize Theron in Monster, Reese Witherspoon, Freeway, Elizabeth Shue, Gwyneth Paltrow. It's just very interesting
Liz
to me.
Taylor, Butterfield.
These are all people who played prostitutes that were then nominated.
Right?
With her uncle.
With her uncle?
Butterfield 8.
Yeah.
Oh, Liz Taylor.
Liz Taylor.
Yeah, absolutely. Butterfield 8, the greatest movie ever made. So it's like, why do you think that is? Is it a way that they can at least say that they're on top? Because Hollywood isn't really known for their basic deep love stories. They can handle a romantic comedy, but
I think men have an interesting relationship with women, and I think that they can only really conceptualize us as sort of sexual beings, and an obvious way to write a complex woman is to just make the sexuality completely blatant. And I feel like once that's out of the way, then you're allowed to bring the depth and the darkness and the sadness and the love and the fear and everything else. But you know, for the most part, a lot of women, when the sexuality isn't talked about, are just written so probably plainly and boring and simply, and they don't have all those layers. So, and I also think men have like a interesting fascination with paying a woman for sex, when actually it's the woman who's empowered. It's quite an interesting dynamic.
And do you notice a difference between you and other Hollywood actresses? The way that some of them aren't really that feminine. When you speak to Europeans, they think that some of the women in Hollywood are quite harsh. And they speak in a certain way. And
I'm probably guilty of that. I don't know. You know, I think what's great about this business is the more success you have, the more worldly you become. I've been living in the world and really a citizen of the world since I was 13. I lived in Australia for 2 years. And so already early in my life I was exposed to different cultures, just different things. And I don't live in a little bubble of what it is to be a strong, independent woman in the United States. on the West Coast, you know. It's even different in the South, and it's different on the East Coast and the North. So, yeah, I mean, maybe they're just generalizing women who haven't had as much worldly experience. European women get to see the world completely differently.
Well, you were actually becoming a producer, I understand. You had optioned a comic book in France.
Yes.
It was in the papers in Paris yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They did a press release? I didn't know about that.
Yeah. And so you're actually doing producing, you're acting.
I am producing.
I've seen you work on the set. You never get angry. You basically are very fluid. And
Well, because I am only allowed to get angry when the cameras are rolling. I get all my anger out, hence the bruises.
but it's very impressive the way that you are able to balance, and you do it without becoming self-centered about it.
Oh, thank you.
And you know, you also, I think, because you're in the middle of a creative process, I think you like to stay sort of calm before you start, possibly.
Yeah, you know, I've always been pretty logical and pragmatic about things. I think it's just a survival instinct of mine. I was never the free spirit, you know, living in my own bubble girl. I was always thinking about the future. I mean, I started acting when I was 12, and it was a choice.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really determined.
How did you decide?
I have no idea. I just did.
Where were you when you decided?
I was, there was a contest for acting lessons in a teen magazine and on the radio. And we didn't have very much money, so my aunt and my mom shoved 6 kids and 2 adults in a car, and I convinced them that we were all gonna go and try to get these free acting lessons so we can be actors. My little cousins, my brother, everybody. And there were so many people there. There were thousands of people there. And I won the grand prize because we didn't have any money, so I couldn't have afforded anything else. And I won, you know, free acting lessons for a year, but I was 11, so I had to condense it into one summer. So I spent 8 hours a day going from one class to the next for 3 months, and I got my agent after that.
You did?
And yeah, and then I had to start making money.
Where were you? Where were you living?
In LA, in Southern California. So we drove 2 hours to this every day. My mother supported me and took me. And then I had to keep getting jobs every 3 months because my mom couldn't work if I was acting, and we had a 2-income family. So if I wasn't getting a job, you know, paying for it, she couldn't afford to take me. So I just kept having to like hustle and get jobs every 3 months to pay for it. Eventually it paid off.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's really exciting. And what would you have done if you didn't become an actress, do you think?
I don't know. I probably would be doing it if I had any other option, to be honest with you. This is, that's kind of everything to me.
That's very exciting. So if you wanted to say that, in some ways, what you want to express as an actress, you seem to really want to bring out people's personal sorrow, their sadness. You want to express
I think
the
it's
beauty
more
of
about,
love.
yeah, I think, you know, just showing humanity in a way that isn't really fed to us through media. And I think portraying women, again, that are complex and deep and different and more tangible, I think is important.
Well, that's great. Well, we're very excited about this role. We think it's the, you know, in many ways it's the most important role in the piece because it offers all the surprises and is just, you know, incredibly important to to the plot. It's the trigger, it's the gun, it's the bullet, it's everything. So we're excited to see what Michael turns this into, you know, in the edit and everything. Yeah. Thanks so much.
No worries.
Great.
Thank you.
Sorry if that was repetitive.
No, it was fine. It wasn't
Okay, it's really nice, that was great, that was really nice. I think it's really clear that, you know, you have the best answers for these ridiculous questions as far as, you know, the hooker, the slapping, the this, the that. But your answers are so good, the sadness, the this, everything. It's really good. It's very, very good. And I like that, I think it's exciting.
Yeah.
You know, I'm really excited by that.
But also, I think that's why anyone's going to be interested in this.
Yeah,
Because if
yeah.
it was just
If it's
watching fucking, you can turn on a porn.
Yeah, you can. You really can. But you are kind of the expert of female sensuality in a way, and you're going to be more so in female roles and female identity. So it's really great that, you know, you actually are able to not be judgmental, to love, you know, all forms of people. And, you know, it's a really open spectrum, which is what I find exciting. You know, I really do.